So the night that when NCIS posted that video about Michelle, they were supposed to find out how I died. The morgue, where they found my body and stuff. They, on that video where my body was found, they said her body was found in the morgue. But my body was the one that was found in the morgue, in the van. Just how I made it to the morgue. What happened that night was at Kevin Milliken's house. Okay. Before they took me to Kevin Milliken's house, John Mannon had showed up at my place or whatever, and Kevin Milliken, I was on the ground. I mean, like, they had, like, they had tried their best to kill me. And it was Kevin Milliken, his girlfriend, and Stephen, and John Mannon, and I was laying there, like, I was on the ground, and I got up, and I said, "Don't ever do that again." And they're like, "You just won't die, will you?" So I ran to my van, and they said, "What do you think you're doing? Where do you think you're going, Greg?" And I said, "I'm leaving you." Put my hand up to the gun that shot me. It hurt really, really bad. They were just shooting me. How I made it to the morgue, I don't know. So then, when I woke up in the morgue, I was like, "Oh, what do I do, you know?" So I lay there. I don't know who all was there. There was quite a few. Well, anyway, so I'm sitting there, and when I wake up from the morgue, we called my brother, and he didn't want to show up and get me. It was really cold in the morgue. I mean, like, they said this is the door behind me. You're laying there, and your arms when you wake up, you, you can't feel it. Sitting there going, the heck am I doing here? You know, I was naked. Well, I was able to push the door open. I mean, knock on the door. Well, what had happened was I was sitting there chasing, no, that lady that helped me out of the morgue, off the table and stuff. She went over to the side and she got down on her knees. I said, no need to fear, just wear my clothes. The other guy was right there and he said, it says here you got shot. Don't you need to be closed up? No. Am I standing here? Well, needless to say, what had happened was I was sitting there and they were helping me put on my clothes. My toe tag was on my left foot, and they helped me. Stephen and Stephanie, Stephen Reston and Stephanie Shannon. We had to. I called them. I dialed their phone. And they're like, "Where are you at?" So they said, "These are the people that shot you, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So they got there, right? And so they sat there and they picked me up. Well, they put me in my van that I was shot in, and they had to help. By the time they got there, they had to put on my clothes, right? Like help put my clothes back on, and I was already putting my clothes on, but was taking a little while. So anyway, they put me in the van, and the next day, like Stephanie had two knives like this, like she was in her hands, and she was like gonna kill me. Well, so what had happened was I don't know. The next day, they're sitting there and they're laughing at me, and they're like, they think it's funny. They thought it was funny, and they put me in. I had to go to the bathroom. I didn't know I was hurting all over. I don't know what happened. I had fallen asleep again. Many prices I've had to pay for friends. Like the real reason I got shot. by the police. Because Steven Reston was doing some bad stuff, I believe. Well, that's what they were saying. After they found out that they were in the wrong. They never caught to anything that they do. But you can sit there and take bullets for them. Yeah. You can go and be undercover with them. Take many bullets. Time after time again. I remember one time I was sitting there and I was over there at Larry Sparks had me go undercover for him. Craig Brink was cooking dope. And so I had to find out where he was cooking the dope. And so I did. I found out where he was cooking the dope. And basically, I had to call in Larry. Well, when they found that out, the whole scenario changed. Yeah. The first time that Steven Reston shot me, I was sitting in my car in the back seat. He was in the front seat. I bought the bullets for the gun. It was a 9mm. He's sitting there shooting out the... not yet. He said, "Greg, lean up here." I said, "What?" He goes, "Thank you for the car." And I'm just like, "I'm giving you my car?" He said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay. Why am I giving you my car?" "I'm not giving you my car. I built this car so that I could, I rebuilt the engine so that I could go see my daughter. But you haven't let me." And he said, "Greg, thank you for the car." He said, "Lean up here." And when I leaned up here, he put the gun right here to my head. And he pulled the trigger. Well, when you shave my head, you can see a gun print. That was from the early 2000s. And I was left over there in Cobb Park. I was laying there. When I woke up, there was this there was this man, he was a black man. He was standing over me, he said. And there was these other black people. They were looking at me, and they were like, "What do you think you're doing here?" And I'm like, "Guess I'm sleeping." Well, needless to say, they took me to their house. And I got better at their house. Bandaged up. They had wrapped a bandage around my head. They were trying to figure out what happened, and I was just like, I don't know. So I was laying there. It took a few weeks. By the time I made it back down from Dallas, Cobb Park, to Burleson, I go over there and my Honda was at Kevin Milliken's house. So I went over there to Kevin Milliken's house. And I sat there and I said, I need my car. And they're like, you just won't die, will you? And they just start shooting at me. So I started moving around, and I thought I was invincible at one point. So I lay down, and Kevin's mom was still alive then. I went over there, and, I'm crawling in the back, and she said, what? Who are you? I said, oh, your son shot me. I've been laying out here for I don't know how long, I was here to pick up my car, and I'm too weak. So she put me in this room in Kevin's house. Well, so he got home and he was just like, Greg, what are you doing here? She said, I'm helping him get better. You shot him, Well, needless to say, when I got better, I left. By that time, took a little while to heal. The police don't realize when they ask you to go to these places what all we actually go through. And people don't realize what all we actually go through. These eyes right here, when I close my eyes, I see different colors. They've been repaired. But anyway, I've dealt with a lot. I've been through a lot. And thank you, Jesus, that I'm alive. The messed up thing is they changed my life. In more ways than one. one of the times that I died and got buried in Johnny Reedy's backyard. When I woke up from that one, crawled out of the ground, Johnny said, "Where do you think you're going? How are you standing here?" And I said, I just crawled out of the ground. It was just like, he said, "How much money you got?" And I was just like, "Take me to my uncle's." And he said, "How much money does he got?" Well, needless to say, when he brought me to my uncle's, he brought me to the church. My uncle talked to him, he got saved. He started coming to church. I went through a lot. But Jesus saved me. I still gotta go to Israel. And be dipped in the Jordan 7 times. In the Jordan River. Alright.